Hello, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever applies to you when you are watching this. It's morning here for me when I'm recording this. I did attempt to record this last night, and I was having all kinds of issues in that full moon energy where messages, like the first and second messages, were exactly the same. It's like the same exact cards came out, all of the things, and then the group 3 space actually did have a different message, and I will just kind of briefly overview those for you when we get into your reading, so you know kind of what your message was last night in that, like in the height of the full moon energy. But today I felt like let's just be a little bit more intentional that each space has a different message, and that there's something that you can benefit from this. So yesterday I had done a poll in which I had asked if you all wanted to hear a tough love reading or if you wanted to, things unseen, and the answer was a resounding we're not interested in tough love right now. Like, we're good on that. And I thought about this some, and I thought, well, we have to move into this really intentionally because things unseen can inadvertently be tough love. So I thought, let's make sure that we are being intentional in this space. So I put the intention in that the thing that is unseen is something that can positively benefit you moving forward. Okay, so whatever the message is in this space, we'll do that. And today, I'm actually not going to use this deck today. I'm going to use the Light Seers deck because I just thought that it would be fitting to use Light Seers in a reading that is, you know, I'm being, I guess, metaphorical or intentional because, you know, things unseen in that moon energy, then we can illuminate with light in the Light Seers deck. So that is what we're doing today. And then I'll get you probably some message cards from, you know what, I have this Intuition Oracle deck that I will use. And then in addition to that, we'll do some charms today as well. All right, y'all, this is your group selection. You have group 1, group 2, and group 3. So sit on those for a second, and when you're ready, hit the timestamp of your choosing. Okay, that should give you plenty of time because I had to get up, and even though I don't really want to silence Dax Riggs, Dax was in the background about to scream and on the radio for music, and we can't have that. It was a little bit too loud, a little bit too distracting. So here we go again. 1, 2, 3, goodbye. All right, group 1, the Magician. Look at this Magician card. If you skipped over the intro really quick, we are going to do a different deck today for your reading. We're going to use the Light Seers deck. I felt like the Light Seers deck would be really fitting for this reading because it's kind of, you know, we're trying to dig something out of the dark. And so what better way to do that than to use light, because dark is simply the absence of light, correct? All right. So we're not going to be using this deck, but here is that wonderful Magician. So the Magician card talks a lot about manifestation. And if you've been here for a second, then you know that manifesting it comes in all forms. Any sort of thoughts that we are putting into something is reciprocated back to us. Any kind of behavior or things that we are doing, even if you are here in the comment section and you're, you know, making some kind of comment, that is putting a projection or it's putting you into energetic alignment. So really being careful what we say in all spaces or how we behave in all spaces, because every step that we make is sort of placing us in alignment with what we are asking for. I saw a video last night that your brain is always seeking the conclusion to what you've told it. Okay, so our brains are, so if you tell your brain that everything around you is awful, or you have, you know, just an onslaught of these sort of negative patterns of behaviors or thoughts, then your brain is always seeking that in your environment. And I always say that happiness isn't a place, it's a mindset. And so all of those seem to be really important messages in the group 1 collective, is really remembering this when stepping, because we are trying to get into a space in which we are aligned always with the best intention for us and others. Before I sit down into this space, I say a protection prayer, and in that protection prayer talks about doing, you know, making sure that this is for the greatest good of all, not just self. So it's really important in this space. All right, let me get a sip of my coffee from my coffee cup. I don't know if you can read this. It says goddess. A little backstory about that cup is I'm a wedding photographer, and one of my brides bought me that as a gift. So pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and tap into it. Let's shed some light on group 3. What is the thing that needs to come to the surface here? Well, whatever it is, it'd like to come in quickly. You have the Chariot popping out as your first card. So let's see what else we have in this space. For group 1, please, what is in the unseen? A beneficial message that needs to come to surface, please. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the 9 of Cups. Okay, what else do we have in this space, please? Things unseen, a message for a collective 1. Sometimes I was just going to say, sometimes the cards don't fly out of this deck that well. We're going to do one more here, and then I will just shuffle, and anything that comes out either on the bottom of the deck or just in this space. Hold up, this guy wanted to pop out. And you have the Queen of Pentacles. On the bottom of the deck is actually, and here's the thing, the bottom of the deck, I feel like that is a metaphor in this space, okay? Sometimes the bottom of the deck can indicate what is beneath the surface, right? And so beneath the surface in your reading is I'm not going to pull this card out on the board because I don't want that energy in with us, but I just want you to know what it is. It is the 9 of Swords. And so this is standing in our own way. This is internal conflict. This is allowing our thoughts to get the best of us and sort of being in this emotional upheaval, or that we can kind of anxiety exists in this space, overthinking exists in this space, overanalyzing exists in this space, and the type of manifesting we don't want exists in this space. Okay, so what you have here is, it seems as though there is you might be in a space of doing some individual mending. You have here the 7 of Wands. Now, typically the 7 of Wands, how it would register for me is having to sort of fight people off with a stick. But in the Light Seers deck, what's interesting about it is, see how there's like only one wand that can get into this crystal ball with this woman here who has you know, light emanating from her chest in particular, like an open heart chakra here. And this is sort of the thing I love about the Light Seers deck, is that it gives like a zoomed out view, and then it moves in. Or a lot of decks do this actually. So this is sort of out here is like a bird's eye view, and then here is like a zoomed in on this area right here of the heart chakra and the Ace of Cups. Very fascinating here. So Anyway, it's as though there's only one kind of wand that can get in. This is about standards, but it's also about this. To me, this here, all of these wands kind of trying to get your attention. It's really about these energies trying to elicit a response from you, and about holding your power in this space, and actually doing sort of the opposite of what the Seven of Wands is traditionally depicted as. Traditionally, the Seven of Wands is depicted as a man just sort of fighting everyone off with a stick. And, you know, it's this one person against a whole bunch of people. Now, you may be in this space of being in a moment in which you have sort of built into some sort of power within self, or empowering moment within self, or you may be even in a space of building your own self-confidence. And there could be energy trying to get in there. Now, what I have found is that the universe, or God, or however you would like to resonate it, will test you. The world around you will test your alignment. Okay. So it's almost as though it gives you opportunities to respond differently. And it's all about responses. So in this space, say someone comes towards you and they project onto you something that it isn't necessarily, it's not because of anything that you did. It's just because of some sort of belief or opinion that they have, some sort of judgment that is being pushed upon you. And in that moment, you have a choice. And the choice in that moment is, okay, we're going to match vibes. And that's kind of the knee-jerk response for a lot of us, right? It's like, oh, we're going to match vibes today. Okay. And that is my innate response personally. So if you're in my collective, I would imagine that you're probably up there with that too. And the other one is to choose it, not just choose your battles, but then here's the thing about choosing your battle is because some of us can then internalize that. So I feel like there are some of us who just release it immediately, and that's why we're kind of matching the vibe. And then others of us who absorb immediately, and you can kind of fit in one of these spaces. Either way, you are creating energy in that space. And what needs to happen is a deflection. You see here how she's like, this is coming at her, 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 this is coming at her. None of these things are allowed to even penetrate her space. They're not allowed into this crystal ball with her. Not only is she not even giving this attention, she's only focused on this wand here. And that is the response system that we need to have when there are energies that are coming towards us. And being in this sort of Queen of Swords energy is... it's not always about having to put your foot down in every space. You can say what needs to be said once and then not entertain anything that deviates from that boundary that you have set for self. And also it's about you in this space, collective one, you could very well be a powerful manifester. A lot of us are in sort of conjunction with this within our life path. There is, if you have a lot of 5s in your birthday, or you are a life path 5, that is the life path of karma. And when you're in that space, karma sort of comes in really quickly, but it's good or bad. So it manifests. And being aware of that, being aware of your, being able to think of how many times that someone came at you and you instantly responded with their vibe rather than their energy, quickly even, moved really in this quickness. And this is kind of embodying you to sort of take a deep breath, center yourself, then respond, then go into this Queen of Swords energy, then decide, is this something that I am going to address, or am I going to deflect it? And by deflecting it, we're not absorbing it. And that's really important here, because you can be like, oh, well, I'm going to avoid it, but I'm going to dwell on it all day and think about all the things I should have said and be like, you know what? You want to come at me? I should have said this, and I should have said that, and that, and that, and that. Because then you are still in energetic alignment with the energy that was presented to you. And not only that, you're in it now you're in it for hours after the event happened, right? Now you've been ruminating in that energy. It wasn't just a moment for you. It became a far more than that. And so getting into a space of going, this sounds like a you problem, and just not having to say that. I mean, I guess you could, but more so of, you know, I think that when someone approaches you with something, you can just instantly disrupt that energy, okay, by looking at it and going, is this a you problem or is this a me problem? Is this my problem? And if it isn't your problem and someone's just projecting onto you, you can always just, you can disrupt it and just look at them and be like, are you okay? And that shifts the energy anyway. So this is really about letting go of anything that doesn't serve you in this space and understanding energetic alignment as though it is law. Because it is law. Building this awareness into energetic alignment, building and really committing to it and even assessing it. You can dissect it in your life and go, okay, when I was in this headspace, I was experiencing this. When I did this, I experienced this. When I was in this energy, I experienced this. And then you can begin to sort of dissect it kind of like an equation, okay? And then you can begin to see where things manifest based on the alignment of how you think about self or think about the situations that you are in. Hang on one second. We have to have a coffee break. And perhaps a little sip of water as well. Now, the thing is the Nine of Cups here, what I find very interesting about, this card is about wish fulfillment anyway, but what is happening here, and the heart space is really important in all of this. So I think one thing that may need, that we're shedding light on in this conversation is opening up the heart chakra or mending the heart chakra. You can do some Reiki on that. There's tons of videos online that have heart healing, Reiki, and maybe even going in and kind of doing research on how you can open up your heart chakra would be a good thing. Maybe I can, if I have time sometime this week, maybe I'll journal on this for everyone on each of these readings in this space. Anyway, this card is about her. All these cups are sort of her wishes that she has put out into the universe around her. And if you know what comes next is the 10 of Cups, right? So she puts all 9 of these cups out and she gets 10 back. Okay. And it's all about moving from this centered space, all about moving from an open heart chakra. And this can put you then into this energy of ultimate abundance. Look at this Queen of Pentacles. She is in her no F's given era. It's like, oh, you're going to come at me? Okay, well, what's that Prince quote? Oh my gosh, someone knows it, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like, oh my gosh, how does it go? It's like, it's basically like a decision to come at me is a, oh my goodness, somebody look up the darn Prince quote and put it in the comments, because it's like, how does it go? It's like, it's basically saying like, you know, coming at me is a choice of attacking your own self, basically, is the message in what he says. And I know that there's somebody out there who knows that quote. Okay, let's see what we have going on here. Okay, so I just shuffled a bit talking, and we have the Death card on the bottom of the deck, which is the Rebirth card, truly. And we also have this 8 of Swords on the bottom of the deck, as well as this 2 of Pentacles. So this is what needs to shift in this space, okay? This is why I love the Light Seers deck, because the imagery is so on point. In the Eight of Swords, she's so in the mirror, you can see that she's all bound and there are all these crows around her, and her wrists are bound, her eyes are bound, but this is all self-induced. This is all self-inflicted, right? Because if you see outside of the mirror, it's all internalized. It's all in her mind. And again, remember that message, right? That our mind is always searching for things to validate what we've told it. And so if you have this internal thought process that is all over the place and maybe very anxious or over analyzing or dwelling, and then all these things begin manifesting from that, it's like, it is basically as though being in this wish fulfillment, but the wishes that we're putting out are the things that we don't want. So we have to understand our ability to manifest in this space, A, and then B, ask ourselves what it is that we're manifesting by the thoughts that we have most often. Something I want to tell you about that is completely unrelated to this, y'all, is that I started doing magnesium sulfate spray on my feet, and I did this in order to go to sleep at night. But one thing I noticed was that I had put it on maybe like an hour before bed, and I noticed that my nervous system completely, it's like it regulated, and I wasn't concerned about things that I would normally maybe be concerned about. I always have like late night thoughts. And so yesterday I was going into, my daughter is in softball, and the environment sometimes at softball games can be really stressful for me and my social anxiety, which is very fascinating actually, just side note, because I photograph large weddings. There's tons of people there and I never have an issue with it, but sitting when I have kind of nothing to distract me for hours, and just being in and around that kind of energy, it does something to my social anxiety. And so I love going to her games, but I don't enjoy the environment that much because it piques my anxiety, or my emotional regulation gets a little bit out of whack. So yesterday before a game, I decided to just spray my feet with this, just be like, well, if it worked, like I was like, we'll see how this goes. I might be a little bit tired, but am I going to be anxious? We'll find out. Y'all, when I say that my emotional system, my nervous system was just so chill and I could just enjoy it. I wasn't worried about anything. I was just focused in on the game. My little one was just playing in the dirt, and it was just, so it may be something to look into, to getting that, because it absorbs way better than the pill. I had taken magnesium in a pill form for I don't even know how long, and I feel like this stuff was far better than that. But so anyway, just a little tip here in this space. I don't know if I'm allowed to get you. Obviously, check into it, make sure that it's safe for you and all. But really, okay, so here is it. The interesting thing too about the balance here. You see, this is like a bag that's all closed up, and this is like a light space here, and this stuff is higher and this stuff is lower here. Heaviness, there's a lot of heaviness in negative thought patterns. It brings you down. It has like a downward spiral, okay? Whereas positive emotions have an upward spiral. They expand out, and then they become lighter, and we feel physically lighter when we are in alignment with things that give us joy or happiness or gratitude, etc. And then we feel weighed down when there are things that make us feel anxious or have animosity or jealousy or and self-doubt. Those are all very low on the energetic vibration chart. So those things can really make us feel very heavy, okay? And the other things can make us feel very light. This one is heavy, this one is light. And these two things are kind of in this way, right? This one is weighing down this elbow. This one is bringing this one up, okay? We want to be in a space in which we are balancing things out, where we're obviously not being, you know, blissfully unaware and, or even operating in a space that is, I mean, I don't think it is possible for us to operate in a space that is just, well, actually, it might be possible for some of us to operate in a space that takes nothing personal and doesn't allow anything at all to weigh us down. I don't know, maybe those are monks might be in that space. But for, you know, for the rest of us that are, you know, operating in the world that is consistently testing us in the system that we live in, that is in alignment with all of that, because the energy in the world around us is in that sort of, in that heaviness, okay? The earth in general is sort of weighed down by this. Okay, so being able to bring that into balance by making sure that we are really in control of our own thoughts and understanding how those manifest in our life is the big overarching message in this space for you, collective one. Let me get a drink and then we will do your message cards and your charms. All right, what do we have here? Sorry, I just like taking my time. Hey, you know what? Maybe that was a hit on your patience. I feel like there might be somebody watching this like, oh man. You right, you got me. Okay, hold up. This one kind of popped out. What is the message in this space for collective one? See if I can get some to pop out better than others. This one, we'll turn them over in a second. I'd like you to see the imagery first. This guy peeked out. Okay, I think that's enough. And if we, well, on the bottom of the deck, really quick, we do have the truthful. I speak my truth and expect everyone I care about to do so too. I mean, that would really help us, honestly, with alignment. You have the contortionist, the benefactor, the mentor, and the joyful. Joy is the highest vibration on the emotional alignment chart. Okay, the contortionist. I resist those who would have me bend to their will. This is talking about that matching vibes, right? Being in a space in which we are, rather than owning, you know, standing in our own power, we're stepping right into alignment with those energies that come towards us. The benefactor. I enjoy life now as I take steps to realize my new tomorrow. Right. We need to begin moving into a space of what I call them, and I think a therapist called these once to me as well, was more true statements, okay? When we move into a space of self-doubt or limiting belief patterns, we can move into like sweeping generalizations even. We can move into a space where we're saying something so untrue about self that then the come up from that, it takes us a lot longer to come up from that, right? So making sure that we're deflecting any sort of really deep negative beliefs with something that's more true about ourselves, that's more true and kind, okay? In terms of, and then if, I mean, there very well could be some that there may be some truths about ourselves that we need to face and accept too, and tweak, because there may be behaviors that we have that we're internally, you know, deep down we're not proud of, or we make us feel guilty, and guilt is also in that lower alignment too. So things that, you know, moving into accountability with self, or forgiveness within self, and true forgiveness, and understanding how to seek forgiveness in certain spaces, which is accountability. The next thing we have is the mentor. I respect and learn from the wisdom of my elders. There could be lessons still. There could be a lesson for you in this space in which you need to be, really implementing in your life after following this reading, and really maybe even saving this for the future and re-watching it and going, okay, like getting it down and putting it into, imprinting it in your brain, because it is powerful. It really does change a whole lot about perspective on life. And I always say, when it comes to energetic alignment, which can be sort of simplified into, it kind of works how the law of attraction works, okay? It's just a little less, I guess, taboo. You hear the law of attraction, and that can kind of be in a taboo space or be a little bit stigmatized. But it's basically the same thing. It is the same thing. It's just called something else, right? And my whole thought process on it is, why not just try it and see how it works, see how it goes, rather than going, oh, okay, that's BS, which is literally sort of ironic, right? Because having that sort of thought process about something and then still operating in the same way and experiencing the same thing without even trying, arguably it's like, well, it seems to be working by not trying it. So what would happen if you did try it, And then the joyful. I know that the purpose of life is to be happy and live purposefully. Again, like joy is the highest, I think it's joy, appreciation, happiness. Like that's like the ultimate enlightenment, essentially, when it comes to energetic alignment. It is the most expansive. It is the most abundant space. It is where you can tap into things coming into fruition for you, manifesting all kinds of things in that space, in the space of joy and gratitude, and remaining in that space puts you into alignment. Okay, so let's move into your charms. All right, so here is our charms. These charms are by a subscriber named Jolene. Her little business is called Art and Arcana. And I don't know if she'll be making more charm sets or not. She gifted me this set. She just had a baby, so she is adjusting to life with a newborn. So I don't know if we will see a storefront from her in the future. I'm hoping that we do. But for now, these are where they came from. And we'll just pull out some charms for you. Sorry if this is a little bit noisy, or I don't know. Some people like little noises like that. Okay. So we have this little candy, which I feel is kind of being like the sweetness of life and really tapping into that. This has come up in every time in your read so far, is this little chain with the lightning bolt, like this little storm. Okay. We can create our own storms without even realizing it. Music is important in your space. I really feel, I swear, music is the most powerful communication tool, in my opinion, because it hits energetically. Goodness, I hope you didn't hear my stomach just growl. Here's this little kitty cat. It hits energetically. It can lighten your mood. It can help you to work through things. Music, being in alignment with that, maybe playing music while you are sort of journaling out some of these things might help, because energetically, I feel like sometimes the music sort of connects in with us. It's fascinating when you then are kind of in the space of recognizing synchronicities. It's like you then see it in everything, including a song will pop on and it'll have like the perfect lyrics that you need for that moment. So here is this as well. This could be, personally, I am not a big fan of alcohol being a celebration, a celebratory tool. So it could be kind of an Ace of Cups vibe in that space. Here's some shells. But it also could be a hit on making sure that we're sort of not numbing ourselves from the things that we need to address more authentically. Let's see if I have more in this space. I have Scorpio, Leo, and Gemini. Let's see what else we have. Anything? Numbers 1, 28, 6, 14, 10, 24, 26, 5. There's that 5, that karma number. I told you. All right, and what do we have here? We have S, A, N, D, sand. I have I, B, A, T, that's bat. We have M, O, N, H, C, L, F. So there's any words in there that you can, that maybe came up for you. See if I see any. I mean, I could be here for a while if I was going down that, because I'm already like, well, there's fan, and there's has, and there's his, and there's hit, and there's hot, and there's bod, and man, and but you can kind of pause it and see if there's anything that pops out there for you or resonates in with you here. Collective 1, but that concludes your reading today. If this resonated with you, do me a huge favor and like this video, as it helps the channel. And if you'd like to stick around for more readings in the future, do subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Or you can also leave me a comment down below and let me know if this hit with you. Thank you so much for being here, Group 1. Enjoy the rest of your day. Group 2, you have the Wheel of Fortune coming into your reading. Let's see here. Now, if you did skip over the reading, really quick, I just would like to let you know that I'm not utilizing this deck for your reading. I'm actually using the Light Seers deck. I felt like the Light Seers deck would be really fitting for this reading, so because we're trying to shed light on what's in the dark. The Wheel of Fortune it's talking about, you know, what's interesting is I hadn't ever noticed, I don't know if I never noticed this before, but the Wheel of Fortune has all the fixed signs in it. So Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius are in this space, which is interesting because moving those fixed elements is not easy. It is not easy to get a fixed sign to move. So this is kind of, it's being in this, when the wheels begin turning in this space, it means there's been a lot of momentum to kind of get into a space to get this energy to shift. Or it could be that it takes a big push to kind of get this energy to move, okay? So that seems to be something that is in the message for you in this space, collective 2. Okay, let's see here. Let's shed some light on the message here in the unseen for collective 2. What is in the, oh, okay. The Knight of Cups is like, let me out. I'm here. Things unseen for collective 2. I'm going to go with this 5 of Swords here. Are we going to pull out all of these? I guess if these come out again, we will. I'm trying to do this 1 card at a time. Here's this guy popping out. There's that Page of Pentacles. What else do we have going on here? We might clarify that 5 of Swords. What is in the unseen? This was one of the, okay, these wanted to come out. These were in the last part. We're going to do 1 more for you in this space. There, that was here too. Okay, all right, I'm here. I'm seeing you. These 3 cards are the ones that I was like, I'm going to put those back. I swear. I should know better. We're going to put the 4 of Wands up here, as well as the Magician from the bottom of the deck. And really quick, clarify that 5 of Swords for me, please. I'm going to take out, well, is this all clarifying it? Hold on. Are we in a moment here? This might have a big message here. These all kind of belong to the 5 of Swords. This is kind of the challenge. Okay, hold on. I don't know if you can see these. It's kind of down a little bit further than I wanted them to be, but you're good. You can see this is the 5 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, Strength, and the 9 of Pentacles, all here belonging to this 5 of Swords energy, which is, here, let's move this over. That exists here for this card. Okay. What is not seen in this space? What do we have going on that is a message needing to be brought out here? I'm going to start with this conflict, okay? There is a conflict that is existing in this 5 of Swords energy. Now, the 5 of Swords in the Light Seers deck, in my opinion, is sort of, it is not following our own intuition to make decisions and sort of being in a space of listening to others and then sort of experiencing the ramifications of not trusting self is essentially what exists in this space. It's like, it's sort of being in conflict with our own decision-making in some way, or feeling indecisive, but then relying sort of on someone who, relying on external influences to sort of decide for us where we're going. What I do feel though is that we're walking away from that, okay, with this here with the 10 of Wands, as well as this 5 of Pentacles. These are cards that would indicate we're putting that down in this space and we're moving into this, okay? So we're walking away from this sort of burden of others, you know, holding on to, it's kind of being in this, the 10 of Wands is, in my opinion, it is as though we're kind of hanging on to these burdens and conflicts that don't necessarily exist for us. It's like we kind of, it's being in a space of maybe fighting someone else's battle for them, or taking on things that, taking on things for self that others do not accept from us, but expect from us, okay? And we're walking away from that. We're walking away from being in that kind of energy and having a lot of resilience and sort of building our own abundance and creating our own path. I'm going to move these kind of here just in case anything comes out. So that is what is existing in this space. And I'm going to say this is kind of separate over here. All of this over here is separate from what's going on over here, okay? Over here, I feel like this decision or why we're in this space had something to do with somebody who maybe seemed very emotionally mature or has a whole lot of emotions and would be in a space of kind of constantly providing those emotions to us. Just in talking about this energy, I'm going to say that this is somebody that we've walked away from and that caused us quite a bit of internal conflict, okay? This is a past energy that has influenced some things in your life and influenced the new trajectory of things and the way that you see things now, and the things that are going on in the present moment sort of were piggybacked off of what happened in this situation. Now, this feels very, it would be recent past or past. This isn't in this space right now. In this space right now, we're in a much different energy than what's over here, okay? But this is something that catapulted all of this, okay? And you have an awareness, I feel, of this. So this part I don't think is necessarily unseen, okay? It's just kind of maybe a hit for you to know that this is your reading, okay? That you're in the right space. And maybe that's it. Maybe it is just telling you you're on the right path. Because you may be in a space right now, if you're accustomed to this Five of Swords energy or this Nine of Swords energy even, and being in a space of sort of creating internal conflict, you may be in a space that struggles with your own decision making and trusting self, especially with this Two of Wands over here too. This Two of Wands is, you know, she's not moving from her intuition. She's moving from sort of the ideas and belief systems of others on what is sort of expected for her, rather than, you know, taking her swords and fighting her own battle in this space. She's still kind of dependent upon the external world around her. And that is sort of like a challenge in this space. I do want to mention that if you have any sort of relationship with manifestation, because the Magician is a manifestation card and the Magician was the primary card in the group 1 space, there may be a message also in there for you in terms of understanding manifestation on a more, you know, in a more complex way. There's a huge message surrounding this Magician in the group 1 space. So if you have the time to check out that reading, it might benefit you for this reading. This, however, is sort of this idea now that you're building into the path that you're on is sort of, it has an end trajectory or an end goal of being in this Four of Wands energy, being in this space of ultimate fulfillment, specifically within life, but also within a connection, where this is having everything. And here we are with there's the Lovers on the bottom of the deck, as well as the Wheel of Fortune, your card coming out here as well. And this is sort of the end goal. Where we're at right now is sort of this space of stepping into our own stability. Okay, this is where we want to be because of all of this. It's like you may have been dependent upon this energy over here in some way, and may have relied upon this energy in terms of some sort of stability and wanting to be in a space where we're not depending on others to sort of validate our abundance or provide abundance for us. We are in a space of building abundance for one's self. And over here is like, we're kind of in, the thing is that I feel like the conflict here is that you may feel that you're in this space. You may feel that you're kind of stepping into this, but other cards here would indicate that this is just a belief structure that kind of needs dissected a little bit, because it's a moment for you to always be in a space of making sure that you are seeing where you came from. And I think that's why this came in here, because I don't feel like this is too prominent in your energy right now. Or it could be, but this is something you've stepped away from, and it was a good choice for you. It was a good decision for you, because this over here was sort of holding you back. It was bringing you down and really putting you in a space that just wasn't in alignment for your greater good. And it's almost as though because of this experience, or not, I'm sorry, not because of this, it's almost as though this right here is just the reminder to make sure that we're not forgetting where we came from and how we got here, because you may see yourself in this energy, but we are moving into a space of this here, okay? And you are on the right path for this, on the right path to receive that ultimate abundance within self. The right path to get you in alignment with this, which is the Lover's card. The right path to get you in alignment with this, which is the Four of Wands. These are union cards. These are wish fulfillment cards. This is being in that sort of, you know, perfect harmony within a relationship. And it's like this is telling you that what you are doing in this moment, and simply your choice to step outside of alignment with all of this, is already forward momentum and getting you closer to this, and getting you closer to a celebratory space and understanding manifestation. Do check out the group 1 space and how we are manifesting, and also understanding that there are so many forms of manifestation, that even dwelling is a manifestation. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles popping out on the bottom of the deck. The Queen of Pentacles is also in the group 1 space, so I do feel like there is a message there for you. And so was building our heart space as well. I feel like this is really important too, because understanding that that alignment that we are seeking exists within our heart space. This is simply a reminder to ensure that we're really trusting our own intuition in this space, trusting self, and not allowing the influence of others or the influence of the world around us to really knock us off balance on the trajectory that we have for self in this space, and consistently redirecting in order to maintain our relationship with self that we are building in this space. And really, in some capacity, you could be even invited to sort of step away from any external energies that put you into a conflicted space, or are kind of engaging with you to get you to tap into this. This is, okay, I forgot that I said I was going to talk about the messages from last night, because the messages in pile 1 and 2 were very similar last night. They were almost the same message, just said in a different way. And I thought that was really strange, but this is how it's coming in again for this. And I do think that there's a message in the group 1 space for you as well here. So if you have the time to check that out, I would highly recommend that. Okay, let's see. I feel like that is the message here that is kind of being illuminated for you. Is I think that if you've come here if you're in a space of questioning life choices, or questioning where you're at or the path ahead, and this is kind of just this reminder that you are on the right path, and to remember that this is in the past for a reason, because there's a whole lot of conflict and internal struggle kind of in this space over here. All right, let's get into your message card for this reading. Oh, I was like, where are my message cards? I couldn't find them for a second. They were unseen in a message about the unseen. Okay, what are the messages for the group 2 collective? What are the messages for the group 2 collective, please? Messages for group 2. Messages for group 2. This kind of. Okay, you have here the warrior, the homebody, the farmer, and the benefactor. Okay, the warrior, I ask for what I want because I deserve to get what I want. Amen. Yeah, that's kind of like the 9 of Cups energy, right? Is like putting your wishes out there and really believing that they belong to you. The homebody, I enjoy the secure base I have made for myself and my loved ones. You may be somebody who really enjoys making a home, I mean, you could just enjoy being at home, or you could enjoy making your home sort of your safe haven, and your home should be your safe haven. So the farmer, I enjoy being of service to those who deserve it. Deserve it is super important in that sentence. You could be somebody who is a gift giver or acts of service. You actually could be you could really benefit from having a garden, even maybe, tending to your own garden in some capacity. The benefactor, I enjoy life now as I take steps to realize my new tomorrow. This is also in the group 1 space. Okay, really quick, let's get your charms, and then we will close out the reading for you here. These charms are from a subscriber named Jolene at Art and Arcana. We don't have socials yet. She just had a baby, so I don't know if she'll have those in the future or not, but for now, that is the name. All right, let's see. What do we have in this space, please? Just do some here. You have this little champagne bottle, maybe a space of celebration, this little red chakra. You have Libra, you have Taurus, you have Leo, you have this little purple heart chakra, you have this little storm cloud. This also came up in the group 1 space. This little seashell. And for letters, we have B, M, T, F, E, D, B, Z, I, H, G, S, and R. Then you have 12, 11, 16, 1, 27, 14, and then here's a Z that I missed as well. Let's see if there's some words that kind of pop out right away. Hot is one. Are you a hottie? We have sob. We have fit. We have Rob. We also have Bob. You can pause this though. Oh, this is actually a W. I'm sorry. My bad. I said it was an M. I don't know if I had to point that out for somebody. But yeah, those are your charms. You can pause this video and kind of zoom in a little bit to get, dissect them a little bit better. If this resonated with you, group 2, please do me a huge favor and like this video. That helps my channel tremendously. And if you'd like to stick around for more content in the future, do like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if this resonated with you. Thank you so much, Collective 2, for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. I don't know why I felt like saying that. Here comes the sun. Hello, group 3. You have the Sun card. So what's interesting in your space is that it's sort of like the bright light emanating in this space is you. And I find that very fascinating. If you skipped over the intro really quick, I am going to be using a different deck in this reading. I'm utilizing the Light Seers deck in this reading. I felt like it would be fitting to, I'm trying to be intentional and maybe metaphorical and use the Light Seers because we are trying to shed light into dark spaces. So we are going to use that to dissect your reading and see what the message is that you are intended to hear. But the first thing that comes out is the light is you, baby. All right, group 3, what is the unseen in this space? What needs illuminated here? What is something that needs illuminated here that will benefit? Well, Nelly, are we really gonna go with all of these? Sometimes it feels like lately there's just some cards that just come out. These seem actually that they're important. So we have the Knight of Wands. There's the Sun, that's your card. The Fool, the Hierophant, and the World. Right off the bat, you have 4 major arcana coming out on the board, so this seems like a big moment. I'm just going to pull out this little Temperance on the bottom of the deck as well, because that seems very fitting in this space. And I just saw the Empress pop out. I saw her peek her head out. But what I also saw peek its head out is this and this. I actually feel like this goes here as the center kind of thing that needs illuminated on, because look at all of this good around this. And then here's this gal in the 8 of Swords energy, dealing with her own internal conflict. I don't find that without purpose here. Oops, what just fell out of the deck? Oh, the King of Pentacles just fell out of the deck. Okay. You can come out, I suppose. Hello, King of Pentacles. Okay. This seems to be surrounding a decision being made, or a decision surrounding some sort of passion that we have for life, or a passionate new beginning, or not new beginning with someone else. It could be just a passionate new beginning within self. It's some sort of risk that we are taking for self. It's interesting because you have major cards sometimes, and I was just thinking that there is something unseen, and here we have the 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and we also have the 7 of Cups coming out on the bottom of the deck, as well as Justice. What aren't we seeing? I think what you're not seeing, I think that's what it is that you're not seeing, is that you are the Empress and that you are the Sun, and that that you have this sort of passion for life, or this passion about self, or passion in things that mean something to you. You really have this ability even to build into this 9 of Pentacles of abundance. And so it's kind of like you're not seeing your own self in this space, or what you have to offer. And I feel like that's the internal conflict. The sort of, it seems to have something surrounding a feeling as though we cannot have this without this. And in the center here, it's like we need to balance that out a little bit, because if we come over here into this space and we feel here, then we're out of alignment with this over here. So this over here is the Two of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, Temperance, and the World, new beginnings, okay? Or completing a cycle or a chapter. And also underneath there is the Hierophant. So going in and having faith within self, or faith within situations that we're in alignment with. And understanding our options in this space. What isn't being seen over here is kind of all of this, right? What we're not seeing is that we have worked to become in the Empress energy. We have worked to be in this spotlight, in the sun space, okay? We've worked to be in a space in which we stand out, or we just simply stand out. There are things about us that are unique and beautiful and different and eclectic. We may just be in a space of standing out in a crowd. And this is sort of that reminder that there is a reason that you stand out in a crowd. There is a reason that there is this whole box and you're standing outside of it, and there are people inside the box going, get in the box, you know? And I'm sorry, I had like that whole what's in the box things. Sorry. My brain sometimes come into my, you know, from 7. Okay, anyway, sorry. But, you know, standing outside the box and kind of being in a space of like, I don't know how to fit into that box. And maybe being in a space of this kind of giving you a bit of internal conflict, going, okay, yes, I understand the box is there. I know that you're all in the box. I know you're all operating in the box sort of systematically, and it seems like you're all, it seems like you're happy. But are you living authentically in there? Are you choosing self? Are you trusting self? Are you living in fear? Because you are inside a box. And so I feel like you're kind of in that, you know, that's all a metaphor, obviously. But I feel like you're in that, inside your head going like, okay, well, this is expected of me, and I need to do this and this and this and this. And this is sort of, what is I am intended to do, or I am supposed to do because I am XYZ. You know, we are in a system that programs us to operate however it wants us to, as humans, as men, as women. There are sort of structures that have been placed on us that are, you should do this, you should do that, you must do this, you must do that. And I feel like you might be within a collective that is like, okay, but why? Why is it, why must it be that way? Who created that idea? Who says that it must be this specific way? And so it's kind of like you're in that space, and this creates this internal conflict for you. But what the message is here is, and what needs to balance out, is that you aren't intended to be in that box. And that's okay. You are intended to stand out. You are intended to be outside of it. And either the life path that you have worked in, or the things that you do for self, or the way in which you present yourself, is just simply different. And being different is not a bad thing. Here you have the Moon, okay, that was at the bottom of the deck. This is those things unseen, those things that need illuminated, the reason that we're here, this full moon energy on where the light is being shed in this space. And it's really this reminder that you are, it's kind of, you are the one that others could look to sort of mold how they're operating. Or there may be people who look at you and really see your authenticity. And I understand that this space can be really difficult sometimes to operate in, because it's also a space in which people tend to project on us when we're kind of standing out in a crowd. It makes us sort of a target, and I can understand that. There may be people around you who have even wanted to control who you are, how you operate, what you think, how you behave, or, you know, fill in the blank. And that can be very conflicting for you. You know, that can really put you in a space of even, you know, it can bind you even to where the amount of self-control you have then keeps you from sort of stepping into this Fool energy, stepping into this, you know, risk, into this space of jumping into the unknown, because of all of the things that you are told you must do in order to take the jump and to start into this new beginning. And this message is like, no, you don't. You can just jump. And that's the thing. See here, these two things kind of come together here. And you see these like little lights and stuff on the top of here. It's as though, okay, and there's these cliffs here, right? She jumps off here and then she comes down into this space, right? And then everything that's in this pool that she's jumped into is illuminated beneath the surface. But you're not going to know that if you don't jump. And that's the thing, is that it's like, it's this conflict of self, of not knowing sort of what path to take. And with justice out here, justice is the scales of balance tipping in your favor, and also needing to kind of come into alignment with this that you're seeking. Okay, it's like, it's wanting this this kind of wish fulfillment. Here we are with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is wishes being sort of put out into the world around us, wanting this kind of this equal give and take. This Two of Cups is when someone loves you, supports you, nourishes you, encourages you in the same way that you do them. And it's wanting that sort of equality within a connection, specifically a romantic connection, really. But I mean, it can be any connection. And understanding that all of this, you know, maybe wanting to even rush into feeling this is something that requires patience. And not only does it require patience, but it also requires you to understand, again, that you are this sun, that you stand out, you are the Empress or Emperor, however it resonates for you, and that you have options. And more importantly, this isn't always about just options, okay? It's also about zooming out and being able to look at the trajectory of our life on what it is that we want for self, and really honor that. Honor those choices, because that is the path to our own happiness. I do feel like for every collective here, I think there's a big message in the group 1 space, because it talks about manifestation and being in alignment with that. And I do feel like that would be something that might honestly benefit you as well in this space, group 3. So if you have the time to check that out, reading out, maybe do check that out as well. And it's like wanting to be, though, in this sort of ultimate abundance, this structured space. It's like being in peace with abundance, and wanting to be in this space, or wanting to be with this kind of energy that's very stable, very nurturing, very studious even. Abundance comes in all forms. It's not just materialism. And I really think that's something that we need to unpack within our society, is that emotional intelligence is an abundant resource. Even the ability to help and guide. You know, if you have someone that they can't offer you a whole lot financially or you know, in monetary ways, right? But they can offer you their help, or they can be a lending hand, or they can be a shoulder to lean on. Those things, honestly, I would argue even hold more value than someone just handing us $50. You know what I mean? So this energy here, this type of person, they're not just, you know, pentacles aren't just about money. Yes, it has a lot to do with finances, but it's also understanding abundance. Abundance isn't just materialism. Abundance isn't just how things look. And in fact, that can actually put us into a bit of a superficial space. And so this is also like, you know, balancing into this idea that what is abundance for us and how do we obtain that? And it's also really disconnecting ourselves with the ideologies, ideas, opinions, and judgments of others around us, and moving into a space of trusting self and seeing where we can become in alignment here with this kind of energy. Like we have some thinking to do. This is the card of you know, ideas in motion, but it's also the Eight of Pentacles isn't just isn't just hard work, okay? It is that hard work paying off, but also it is when the Eight of Pentacles is someone who has really worked on this, right? Because in the Nine of Pentacles, we see them, you know, being able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And then in the Ten of Pentacles, we see them being able to enjoy the fruits of their labor with others and with everyone. So this has a lot more to do with understanding abundance, though, and how abundance looks. And that's why I think that the group 1 message on manifestation would be a pretty powerful message for you as well here, group 3. Okay. Let's do your message cards. And then we will get you into some charms here. Okay, what is the message for group 3? You have the truthful. I speak my truth and expect everyone I care about to do so too. Interesting. I think that, you know, it's something that could be a challenge in this space is not, you know, we talked a lot about trusting self, but it could be like, there could be something that you feel or you think, like a truth that you have within self that maybe creates internal conflict for you because it's not widely accepted in the world around you. And maybe dissecting why that matters. Or if that really matters. Does it really matter? The Creator. I love playing the wonder-filled game of life creatively. The Tamer. I believe my cause to be just without anger at those who disagree. Yeah, it's almost as though you know that this choice that you are trying to make here and in this space is something that isn't going to be accepted by all people. But the important thing here, group 3, is, are you going to be happy with this decision? The Warrior. I can handle whatever life brings to me. And I feel like these are kind of related here. But you also have the Emperor coming out. I am worthy of respect because I am respectful of all. And the Romantics. I allow romance to touch my heart every day. Interesting. One more just to balance this reading out is I have the Warrior. I ask for what I want because I deserve to get what I want. Amen, baby. I also had the Initiator pop out there as well, which is interesting because that Fool card was there. So the Initiator is, I overcome resistance and do what must be done now. All right, group 3. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me get you your charms. I almost closed this out for you. I'm sorry. Hold up. Let's do your charms. Okay. These charms are they came in from a subscriber named Jolene. She doesn't have a well, she has a business name, which is Art and Arcana, but nothing is set up yet. She just brought a baby into the world, so at some point we will link these, hopefully. But for now, let's just dig in here and get you some, sorry, I feel like that might be annoying to some. Apologies in advance. We have the Three of Cups. This is what I'm seeing when 3 bottles come out, is the Three of Cups as like a space of celebration. You have a shark tooth coming out here. You have this little bow. Put a bow on it, baby. This has come out in all 3 spaces today. This little thunderstorm. You have, who we have? Virgo. Who is this? Sagittarius? Aquarius? Leo? You have this little red chakra, another shell. This little healing stone or crystal. Let's check out your numbers. You have 20, 22, 30, 28, 25, and 15. Oh, and also 4 and 11. Is that it for numbers? Okay, yeah. And then you have letters as L, C, I, Q, C, D, T, I, D, E, another E, F, oh, there's my stomach growling, F, M, X, and J. I did really quick just see me come out, and I really think that's important in this space. You can kind of pause the video if you want and dissect these a little bit, collective 3, but that concludes your reading. Do me a favor, if this video resonated with you, please like the video. That helps my channel tremendously. If you'd like to stick around for more content in the future, do like and subscribe to the channel, and leave me a message down below and let me know if this resonated with you. Thank you so much for being here with me, Group 3. Enjoy the rest of your day.